Hey there, health-conscious viewers. Have you ever reached for those convenient leftovers in the fridge, zapped them in the microwave, and felt like you were making a smart, healthy choice? Well, prepare for a surprising revelation. What if I told you that some of those seemingly innocent reheated foods could be silently undermining your well-being, potentially increasing your risk of serious issues like certain cancers, digestive distress, and even long-term brain health concerns? In this eye-opening video, we're diving deep into 5 everyday foods that medical doctors and nutritionists widely agree should never be reheated. Why? Because the science shows that reheating them can transform them into compounds that are, frankly, toxic. These aren't obscure ingredients. They're common staples you likely consume regularly, foods you probably assume are perfectly healthy. But we'll reveal the scientific mechanisms behind why reheating them can create harmful byproducts linked to significant long-term health risks. Stay tuned until the very end, because not only will we expose which foods to avoid, but we'll also explain the surprising, medically backed reasons why. This isn't just about what to skip. It's about empowering you to make smarter, health-protective choices in your kitchen every single day, so you can feel your absolute best. Before we jump into these crucial insights, if you find this information valuable, please take a quick moment to hit that like button. Your support helps us continue to share vital knowledge. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on our future health tips. After watching, if you loved this video, comment 1 below. If it wasn't quite what you hoped for, comment 0 to help us improve. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Reheating spinach, the hidden nitrate hazard. Spinach. It's a true nutritional powerhouse, celebrated globally for its incredible versatility and undeniable health benefits. Whether it's beautifully blended into your morning smoothie, quickly sautéed in a stir-fry, layered into a comforting lasagna, or simply tossed fresh into a vibrant salad, this leafy green is a beloved staple in kitchens around the world. Packed with essential vitamins A, C, and K, along with vital iron and powerful antioxidants, spinach is often the go-to choice for anyone looking to supercharge their health. However, there's a common kitchen habit that can subtly transform this superfood into a potential health risk: reheating spinach, especially after it's been stored. The core of this issue lies in spinach's naturally high nitrate content. In their fresh, natural form, nitrates are not only harmless but actually beneficial, supporting healthy blood flow, helping to reduce blood pressure, and even enhancing exercise performance, as highlighted in studies published in reputable journals like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. But here's the critical twist. The chemistry of these nitrates changes dramatically under specific conditions. When spinach is cooked, then stored, particularly at room temperature or in the fridge for extended periods, and subsequently reheated, especially in a microwave or at high temperatures, a concerning chemical transformation occurs. The beneficial nitrates break down into nitrites, and these nitrites can further convert into nitrosamines. These compounds have been extensively studied and are widely recognized for their potential carcinogenic properties. Nitrosamines are far from a minor concern. Research, including comprehensive studies from the World Health Organization and the National Cancer Institute, has consistently linked these compounds to an increased risk of various cancers, particularly those affecting the gastrointestinal tract, such as stomach and colorectal cancer. Furthermore, emerging research suggests that nitrosamines may contribute to neurological damage, potentially exacerbating conditions like cognitive decline or even playing a role in neurodegenerative diseases over time. The insidious nature of this transformation is that it's subtle and invisible. You won't see or smell the change, making it a hidden risk for those unaware of the underlying science. This issue is particularly relevant for older adults, whose bodies are often more susceptible to environmental and dietary toxins. As we age, our cellular repair mechanisms naturally slow down, and our systems become less efficient at detoxifying harmful compounds. What might have been a minor issue in your 20s or 30s can have a more pronounced impact in your 50s, 60s, and beyond, especially on sensitive systems like the brain and nervous system. For instance, chronic exposure to even low levels of nitrosamines has been associated with inflammation, a known contributor to cognitive decline and conditions like Alzheimer's disease, as noted in studies published in Neurology. Consider a common scenario. You prepare a large, healthy batch of spinach-laden vegetable soup on Sunday, planning to enjoy it throughout the week. On Tuesday, you quickly reheat a portion in the microwave for a convenient lunch. While the soup tastes perfectly fine, the reheated spinach may now contain nitrosamines formed during storage and reheating. Over weeks, months, or even years of repeating this seemingly harmless habit, these compounds can accumulate in your system, potentially contributing to long-term health risks that manifest silently. The solution isn't to banish spinach from your diet. Its fresh form remains one of the healthiest foods you can possibly eat. Instead, adopt smarter preparation habits. Whenever possible, consume spinach fresh or lightly cooked. If you've prepared a dish with spinach and have leftovers, try eating them cold. Think a refreshing spinach salad or a chilled soup, to avoid reheating altogether. If reheating is absolutely unavoidable, do so gently using low heat on a stovetop rather than a microwave, and critically, avoid reheating it multiple times. Additionally, always store spinach-containing dishes in the refrigerator promptly and consume them within a day or two to minimize nitrate breakdown. Knowledge is truly power. Understanding how everyday kitchen practices can subtly influence your health empowers you to make informed choices. By making small, mindful adjustments, like prioritizing fresh or cold spinach, you can actively protect your body and brain from these silent risks, ensuring that this nutrient-packed vegetable remains a powerful ally in your quest for optimal health, rather than a hidden threat. Number 2. Reheated potatoes, a silent threat to your gut and brain. Potatoes, the ultimate comfort food, cherished across cultures for their incredible affordability, unmatched versatility, and wonderfully satisfying texture. Whether they're mashed to creamy perfection, roasted with aromatic herbs, baked until crispy skinned, or simmered in a hearty stew, potatoes are a cornerstone of countless beloved meals. However, there's a lesser-known risk that emerges when potatoes are cooked, then cooled, stored, and subsequently reheated, a practice incredibly common in many households. This process can trigger subtle yet significant changes in the potato's composition that may pose health risks, particularly when not handled with proper care. When potatoes are initially cooked, their complex starches break down into a soft, digestible form that our bodies can easily process. But here's where the caution comes in. As cooked potatoes cool, especially if left at room temperature or refrigerated for too long, these starches undergo a process called retrogradation, transforming into what's known as resistant starch. Now, resistant starch in moderation can actually be beneficial, acting as a prebiotic that supports a healthy gut microbiome and helps regulate blood sugar, according to research in the Journal of Nutrition. But the real trouble begins when these cooled potatoes are reheated, particularly using high heat methods like microwaving or uneven reheating techniques. The primary concern with reheated potatoes lies in their potential to harbor harmful bacteria, specifically Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism. This risk is significantly amplified when potatoes are cooked, then wrapped tightly in foil, which creates an oxygen-poor environment, and allowed to cool slowly at room temperature before storage. These precise conditions create an ideal breeding ground for C. botulinum, which thrives in low-oxygen, starchy environments. Even if the potatoes don't smell or look spoiled, the bacteria can produce potent neurotoxins that are odorless, tasteless, and invisible, yet capable of causing severe illness, including symptoms like nausea, dizziness, and in rare extreme cases, life-threatening neurological complications. For older adults, this risk is particularly concerning. Aging naturally brings a decline in immune function and digestive efficiency, making the body less equipped to combat bacterial toxins effectively. Moreover, the gut-brain axis, a rapidly growing area of medical research, highlights how intimately gut health influences cognitive function. Chronic inflammation caused by harmful bacteria or toxins in the gut has been linked to an increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, as noted in studies published in Frontiers in Neuroscience. Thus, the seemingly harmless act of reheating leftover mashed potatoes could, over time, contribute to systemic inflammation that impacts both physical and mental health. Imagine you've baked a large tray of potatoes for dinner, wrapped the extras in foil, and stored them in the fridge. A couple of days later, you reheat them in the microwave for a quick side dish. While convenient, this practice could introduce low levels of bacterial toxins into your system, which may accumulate with repeated exposure. The risk is even higher if the potatoes were left to cool slowly before refrigeration, as this extends the critical window for bacterial growth. To enjoy potatoes safely, follow a few simple yet crucial guidelines. First, prioritize cooking only what you'll eat fresh whenever possible. If you absolutely must store leftovers, cool them quickly, ideally within an hour, and store them in airtight containers, never foil, in the refrigerator to rapidly slow bacterial growth. When reheating, use a stovetop or oven to ensure thorough and even heating, and crucially, avoid reheating potatoes more than once. If leftovers have been sitting in the fridge for more than a couple of days, or show any signs of spoilage, always err on the side of caution and discard them. Potatoes remain a nutritious and delicious food when prepared and handled with care. By being mindful of how you store and reheat them, you can significantly minimize risks and maximize their incredible benefits. For older adults, who are often focused on preserving energy, memory, and overall vitality, these small adjustments can make a truly significant difference in long-term health. Number 3. Reheated eggs, compromised proteins, and oxidized cholesterol. Eggs are an absolute cornerstone of American cuisine, prized for their affordability, incredible versatility, and remarkable nutritional density. Whether they're perfectly scrambled for breakfast, hard-boiled for a quick snack, or expertly incorporated into quiches and casseroles, eggs are a go-to protein source, packed with essential nutrients like choline, which is vital for brain health, and high-quality protein for muscle maintenance. However, a widespread habit, reheating cooked eggs, especially in a microwave or at high temperatures, can subtly transform this wholesome food into one that may pose unexpected, yet significant health risks. When eggs are first cooked, their proteins undergo a process called denaturation, where they unfold and reconfigure into a digestible form. This is a natural and beneficial part of cooking. However, reheating already cooked eggs, particularly using uneven or intense heat, triggers further chemical changes that can compromise both their safety and nutritional value. Two key issues arise: the breakdown of sulfur compounds and, more critically, the oxidation of cholesterol. Sulfur compounds, naturally present in eggs, can degrade during reheating, often producing that characteristic rubbery texture and an off-putting sulfurous odor. More concerning, however, is the oxidation of cholesterol in the egg yolk. When reheated, especially at high temperatures, cholesterol can oxidize into compounds called oxysterols, which have been linked to increased inflammation and a higher risk of cardiovascular diseases, according to research in the Journal of Lipid Research. Chronic inflammation, in turn, is a known contributor to cognitive decline, memory impairment, and neurodegenerative conditions like dementia, as highlighted in studies from Nature Reviews Neurology. Older adults are particularly vulnerable to these effects. As we age, our bodies process fats less efficiently, our arteries become less flexible, and our brains become more sensitive to inflammation. This means that dietary habits that seem minor, like reheating scrambled eggs for a quick breakfast, can have outsized consequences over time. For example, imagine you hard-boil a batch of eggs on Sunday to eat throughout the week. On Wednesday, you microwave one to warm it up. While it may seem like a healthy, protein-packed choice, the egg's proteins have become tougher, and its cholesterol may have oxidized, introducing inflammatory compounds into your system. Over months or years, this habit could contribute to systemic inflammation that quietly undermines your health. To minimize these risks, prioritize eating eggs fresh or shortly after cooking. If you batch cook eggs for convenience, consider enjoying them cold, such as in salads, sandwiches, or as a quick snack, rather than reheating them. If reheating is absolutely necessary, use gentle, even heat, such as a low-temperature stovetop, and avoid multiple rounds of reheating. Additionally, store cooked eggs in the refrigerator promptly and consume them within a few days to maintain their quality and safety. If an egg smells off, looks discolored, or has been stored for too long, it's always best to discard it. Eggs remain a nutritional superstar when prepared thoughtfully. By making small, conscious changes to how you handle and consume them, you can continue to enjoy their immense benefits while minimizing potential risks. These seemingly minor decisions, how you store, reheat, or choose to eat your eggs, can add up to significant health advantages over time, powerfully supporting your energy, cognition, and overall well-being. Your body deserves the best, and sometimes that starts with rethinking something as simple as your breakfast routine. Number 4, reheating chicken, a trigger for hidden inflammation. Chicken. It's an undeniable staple in countless households, celebrated globally for its incredible versatility, widespread affordability, and well-earned reputation as a healthy, lean protein. Whether it's expertly grilled, perfectly roasted, or simply baked, chicken is a go-to choice for fitness enthusiasts, busy families, and anyone striving to maintain a balanced diet. Many of us routinely cook chicken in bulk, storing the delicious leftovers in the fridge for quick, convenient meals throughout the week. It's efficient, time-saving, and seems like a perfectly practical choice. But here's a surprising fact you may not have considered. Reheating chicken, particularly using methods like microwaving or high-heat ovens, can subtly alter its composition in ways that may contribute to inflammation, digestive issues, and even long-term health concerns. When you first cook chicken, the heat transforms its protein structure in a way that makes it more digestible. The proteins denature, breaking down into forms that your stomach and intestines can process efficiently. However, when you reheat that same chicken, especially if the process is uneven, as often happens in a microwave, or if the temperature is excessively high, those proteins undergo a second transformation. This additional heating can cause the proteins to become tougher, more rigid, and less bioavailable, meaning your body has to work significantly harder to break them down. For younger individuals with robust digestive systems, this might not be immediately noticeable. But as we age, our digestive enzymes and stomach acid production naturally decline, making it harder to process foods that were once easy to handle. The result? You might experience subtle bloating, discomfort, or a vague sense of sluggishness after eating reheated chicken, without fully connecting the dots to the reheating process itself. The impact extends far beyond just digestion, and this is where the stakes get higher. Research in nutritional science has shown that reheating proteins like chicken can lead to the formation of compounds that trigger low-grade systemic inflammation in the body. These compounds, such as advanced glycation end products, AGEs, form when proteins and fats are exposed to high heat multiple times. AGEs are particularly concerning because they're not just a minor inconvenience. They're linked to chronic inflammation, which is now recognized as a root cause of numerous serious health issues. Inflammation doesn't just manifest as joint pain or swelling. It's a silent driver of severe conditions like heart disease, insulin resistance, and even neurodegenerative disorders such as Alzheimer's and dementia. Over time, the cumulative effect of consuming foods that promote inflammation, even in small amounts, can wear down your body's resilience, leaving you more vulnerable to these age-related diseases. Let's paint a picture to make this more relatable. Imagine it's Sunday evening and you've prepared a generous batch of roasted chicken breasts for the week. You store them in the fridge, and on Tuesday you reheat a portion in the microwave for a quick lunch. You might notice the chicken has a slightly rubbery texture, maybe a faint off flavor, but you shrug it off. It's still edible, right? What you might not realize is that this change in texture and taste reflects deeper chemical changes in the food. The proteins have undergone a second round of heat-induced damage, creating a product that's not only less palatable, but also harder for your body to process. This places a subtle but real strain on your digestive system, which over time can cascade into stress on your immune system and even your nervous system. This issue is particularly critical for older adults who may already be grappling with inflammation-related challenges like arthritis, high blood pressure, or cognitive fog. Chronic low-grade inflammation acts like a slow-burning fire in the body, subtly sapping energy, dulling mental clarity, and even affecting mood. For someone in their 50s, 60s, or beyond, these effects can make daily life feel more taxing than it needs to be. While avoiding reheated chicken won't magically resolve all health issues, it's a simple, actionable step to reduce unnecessary stress on your body. By making small changes like this, you're giving your system a chance to focus its energy on repair, recovery, and maintaining vitality. So, what can you do to minimize these risks? First, reconsider how you reheat leftovers. If you absolutely must reheat chicken, do so gently. Using a low-temperature oven or stovetop method can help preserve the protein structure better than a microwave. Better yet, Try incorporating leftover chicken into cold dishes like salads or wraps, where reheating isn't necessary. Another smart strategy is to cook smaller batches of chicken to eat fresh, reducing the need for storage and reheating altogether. These small adjustments might seem minor, but they add up over time, especially as your body becomes more sensitive to dietary stressors with age. The key takeaway is that food preparation matters just as much as food selection. Chicken itself is a nutritious choice, but how you handle it after cooking can make a significant difference in how it affects your health. By being mindful of habits like reheating, you're not just feeding your body, you're showing it care and respect. As we age, these small acts of mindfulness become powerful tools for protecting our long-term well-being. Number 5. Reheated mushrooms, losing their balance and boosting oxidative stress. Mushrooms. They are a true nutritional powerhouse, beloved for their earthy flavor, incredibly satisfying texture, and impressive array of health benefits. Packed with potent antioxidants, essential fiber, B vitamins, and powerful immune-supporting compounds like beta-glucans, they're a fantastic addition to everything from savory stir-fries and hearty soups to fluffy omelets and delicious side dishes. Whether you're sautéing cremini, grilling portobellos, or simmering shiitakes, mushrooms bring a unique depth to meals while offering benefits for heart health, immunity, and even cancer prevention. But there's a lesser-known downside to this culinary favorite. Mushrooms are highly sensitive to reheating, and this sensitivity can affect not just their taste and texture, but also how your body responds to them, potentially disrupting your internal chemistry in unexpected ways. Unlike most vegetables, mushrooms have a unique composition that includes complex proteins, delicate enzymes, and sensitive fats. When you cook them fresh, these components break down in a controlled way, releasing their vibrant flavors and making their nutrients more accessible to your body. However, when you reheat mushrooms, especially multiple times, or using high-heat methods like microwaving, their structure undergoes further degradation. The proteins and enzymes break down into less digestible forms, which can lead to digestive discomfort, bloating, or a heavy, sluggish feeling after eating. This is particularly true for older adults whose digestive systems may already be less efficient due to age-related declines in enzyme production and gut motility. What might have been a minor inconvenience in your 20s or 30s can become a noticeable source of discomfort in your 50s or beyond. The concerns with reheated mushrooms extend beyond digestion, touching on a deeper issue: oxidative stress. When mushrooms are improperly stored, for example left in a plastic container where moisture accumulates, or reheated unevenly, their proteins and fats can oxidize, forming compounds that contribute to cellular damage. Oxidative stress is a key player in aging and chronic disease, driving inflammation and increasing the risk of conditions like cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and even neurodegenerative disorders. Studies have shown that oxidized compounds in food can exacerbate this stress, placing an additional burden on your body's natural antioxidant defenses. For seniors or anyone managing chronic health conditions, this added stress can manifest as fatigue, brain fog, or a weakened immune response. Let's consider a practical example. Suppose you've made a delicious mushroom risotto for dinner, rich with cremini and oyster mushrooms. It's a comforting, nutrient-packed meal, and you store the leftovers in the fridge. The next day you reheat a portion in the microwave, but you notice the mushrooms have lost their tender, juicy quality. They're now chewy, slightly slimy, or have an off-putting, muted flavor. These sensory changes are more than just a culinary disappointment. They are a clear sign that the mushroom's proteins and fats have undergone significant chemical changes. The once beneficial nutrients have transformed into compounds that your body struggles to process, potentially contributing to inflammation or oxidative stress with every bite. The texture of reheated mushrooms offers another crucial clue. Freshly cooked mushrooms are plump, flavorful, and satisfying. After reheating, they often become rubbery, watery, or overly soft, signaling a loss of structural integrity. This degradation doesn't just affect enjoyment. It reduces the nutritional value and increases the likelihood of digestive or systemic issues. For older adults who may already struggle with bloating, gas, or irregular digestion, these subtle changes in food qualities can compound existing challenges, making it harder to pinpoint the root cause of discomfort. To minimize these risks, handle mushrooms with extra care. If you have leftover cooked mushrooms, store them promptly in a sealed glass container in the fridge to prevent moisture buildup, which can accelerate spoilage and oxidation. When reheating, opt for gentle methods like a low-heat stovetop or oven to preserve as much of the original structure as possible. Even better, consider enjoying leftover mushrooms cold, perhaps tossed into a vibrant salad with a drizzle of olive oil, a squeeze of lemon, and fresh herbs. They can be just as delicious without the risks of reheating. If you're cooking mushrooms, try preparing only what you'll eat in one sitting to avoid the need for storage altogether. The broader lesson here is that small dietary choices can have a profound, cumulative impact on your health. Avoiding reheated mushrooms might seem like a trivial adjustment, but it's one less source of strain on your digestive and immune systems over time. These mindful choices can help you feel lighter, more energized, and better equipped to handle the challenges of aging. By paying attention to how you prepare and store sensitive foods like mushrooms, you're truly investing in your long-term vitality, one delicious meal at a time. As we wrap up this incredibly important discussion, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for joining us on this journey to uncover the surprising, often hidden risks of reheating certain common foods. Take a moment to reflect. What have you learned today that genuinely surprised you the most? Perhaps it was the hidden dangers of reheating spinach, the bacterial risks lurking in potatoes, or how something as seemingly simple as reheating eggs or chicken could subtly impact your health over time. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share just one key thing you've learned today and how you plan to bring this new knowledge into practice in your own life. Your insights and experiences truly inspire us to keep creating content that informs, empowers, and genuinely helps you live your healthiest life. If you found this video valuable, please show your support by leaving a comment, giving us a big like, sharing it with friends and family who could benefit. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more essential health insights. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video, where we'll continue to explore ways to optimize your well-being.